we're seeing the implosion of an NBA team right now, and that's the Sixers, after James Harden just obliterated the team's president, Daryl Morey, after the trade talks ended, and Harden's going to be stuck there for the year. In case you didn't see it the other day, this was James Harden in China, and you will hear what he said.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of again.
He said it twice. He wanted to emphasize it so much. And then a day later, this is now the bio on Joel Embiid's Twitter X profile. He removed the word Philadelphia from it. He removed the word processing from it, which obviously is a Sixers reference. And we all know that this is how young people today communicate their displeasure. So you got James Harden obliterating the team president. You got Joel Embiid scrubbing his social media. And I am going to Abu Dhabi, where it is 104 degrees, to get Brian Windhorst into this conversation. Wendy, thank you so much for doing this. What can you tell us about what is going on? Let's start specifically with Harden here and the Sixers.
Yeah, so when James Harden and his agents were informed over the weekend, as Wojnarowski reported, that they were not going to continue with trade talks, that Philadelphia was going to shut that down, you can imagine he was very upset. And it was communicated to the Sixers that they were going to put them in some pain as a result of this. And that is what James Harden did with those comments on Monday morning in China. He put the Sixers in some pain. And my guess is he may not be done with it. There may be other opportunities for him to really squeeze the Sixers to try to make them reconsider this position. I think his frustration is that they won't trade him. He understood that his contract wasn't going to be extended there, but in lieu of that, he wanted to get traded. When that didn't happen, obviously you can see he's lashing out, and unfortunately, the situation has really deteriorated between the sides from what I've been told.
So is there a sense that it's as simple as he will not play for them again? Should we expect to see Harden on the floor for the Sixers when they open in 2 months?
Yeah, so I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it's as easy for him to hold out, because there is an obscure rule that exists buried in the NBA CBA that if he doesn't report within 30 days of the opening of training camp, the Sixers actually have the right to block him from becoming a free agent next year. So it's a measure that was put in to prevent these type of holdout situations. So Harden is holding a very limited amount of leverage, and by applying pressure to the Sixers, I think he's trying to achieve some here. I honestly believe that the best thing for Harden is to play for the Sixers this year, and I definitely understand why the Sixers ended trade talks, because I think the best thing for the Sixers is to have Harden play for them. I don't think they could execute a trade for him that would bring back the type of talent that he is. And I keep saying this. I said this to you earlier in the summer. The Sixers were not that far away, in my opinion, last year. And neither for the front office. They still think they can bring this team back. That said, there is immense damage that's been done to this relationship. And I'd be lying to you if I thought I would say for sure it can be solved.
Look, I mean, we all know that when James Harden wants to get himself traded, he can do it. Just ask the people in Houston and ask the people in Brooklyn. And then this brings us to Joel Embiid, who is the last remaining vestige of the process. And I'll remind everyone watching, this is the same guy who earlier this summer said, well, I just want to win a championship, whether it's in Philadelphia or somewhere else. Now he scrubs the Sixers from his social media. What the actual heck is that about, Windy?
Yeah, so as you said, that quote that he had earlier this summer was the beginning of a crack in the door. And I think he could foresee there being problems here. And look, I think he's happy in Philly. I think he wants to win in Philly. But I also think he has very high expectations. He is in his prime. He needs to have a team around him that can compete for a championship. And if James Harden walks on this team, they are not going to be that type of team. So he is definitely sending messages without using words with this social media move. And look, maybe more than anybody else in the league, Joel Embiid knows the nuances of social media. He puts Troel Embiid in there because he uses it like a weapon at times. And that is absolutely the saber rattling that he is doing here. I think he would like to have James Harden back this year. I think he'd like to make another run at it, but he recognizes that the Sixers have put themselves in a very difficult position.
What a complete mess it is. In the meantime, we've mentioned it multiple times. Windy is doing this for us from Abu Dhabi. Can you just show us the view out your window? We were going to have you do this from the deck, but the signal wasn't strong. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.